What's up, YouTube? So, those of you that follow our channel have watched any of our videos um, know that during the summer months we don't take the razors, the side-by-sides, and go do much riding in the woods. It's just too hot. It's the middle of June. It's like 9,000 degrees today. And so we're at the lake. And I have to assume that, like us, many of you have summer hobbies, many of which may be boat related. In our group alone, this is actually Ron and Connie's boat. We're at their house today. And Matt, aka Jeremy, all of you guys know him. They have a boat here on Tim's Ford. Scott and Laurie have a boat on Tim's Ford. Tim and Melissa have had a boat. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I assume, again, that many of you also are into boating during the summer months. So today we're going to go do some wake surfing here in a little bit, but first I want to kind of take a look at a couple of products that our good friends at Kemimoto have sent us. So we're going to open these boxes up and see what we've got. Alright, so I've actually got a couple products we're going to take a look at today. One of which is a mirror for you to mount on your windshield frame. Now, if you've watched our other videos, I actually did a set of their billet mirrors on our Turbo R, and I love them. They're outstanding. I've had a couple different brands, Polaris and a couple of the other brands. They're by far my favorite. Great clarity in the glass. So I anticipate that this product will be equally impressive. Got a little bit of hardware here for installation, and then of course the mirror itself. It's got a bracket, kind of a ball swivel. So we'll take a look at this as far as mounting this. It's a nice size. It's not going to obstruct your view too much if you've got it up on top of the windshield there. So we'll take a look at this a little further here in just a few minutes. And then also, they have sent me a set of their Eva fenders, bumpers. There's a couple different names that people refer to them as. So these are obviously going to be used if you're pulling up and docking the boat, or if you're tied up to another boat so that you're not rubbing against each other. We're going to take a little look at these. Pretty impressive just taking them out of the package and looking at them the other day. I really like this rope in comparison to a couple of the other brands that I've seen that use a thinner plastic material. I don't know if over time that would deteriorate, but this being kind of a stretchy, almost a bungee type material, I think that's going to be pretty durable. So we're going to take a look at how this would go on the cleat, kind of how you can adjust the height of this up and down depending on what your plan is as far as tying off to a dock or to another boat. Alright, so yeah, let's take a look at this Kemimoto Eva fender here. Closed cell construction. It's got like a rubberized texture over it, so this is going to be, of course, moisture resistant and all that. It's not going to, if you drop it in the water, it's not going to get wet, hold water like a sponge would, of course. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this cording here is more like a bungee type material. That seems very durable and long lasting to me. So super easy to use. In the case of Ron's boat here, he's got this pop-up cleat. Your boat may have a fixed cleat, but regardless, it's going to work the same. So you're going to feed this loop through the center of the cleat and over each ear, and that's simply all you have to do to attach this. Now, the cool thing about this style fender versus the older round style fenders that just have a piece of rope, this is adjustable from a height perspective. So you take this buckle, loosen the buckle, you can slide this out and lower this down. So let's say you've got a really tall boat and you're pulling up to next to a low dock, you're going to want to slide that down to protect the gel coat. If you've got another boat and you're going to tie it with another boat and your rub rails are basically the same height, you're going to want this at a higher position, so you can slide that back up and get it where you want it, and then adjust the buckle so that stays in that position, and it's not going to slide up and down, it's not going to move around. Now, one other thing that's really cool about this is these are configurable in a few different ways. So like this is the vertical position, obviously, and you can take these cords, these straps, and reconfigure to make this horizontal And you can also do a configuration where this is to put like over if you've got a pole or a post on your dock, there's a configuration for that as well. So very versatile. I really like this flat design in these wake boats. I mean, the new ones have got so much storage, but at the end of the day, you've got boards, vests, your coolers, suntan lotion, pool noodles, saddles, all these things that you've got in the boat. So having a flatter design that's going to be easier to store in the boat is super nice as well. Of course, I also want to throw out there, they do provide a product manual here. It's going to give you a quick rundown on, as I mentioned, doing a vertical configuration on the back side. You've got horizontal configuration, and like I mentioned, if you're tying off to a dock, a pier, or a pole or something like that, you've got how you would need to configure the rope through the fender itself. So yeah, good stuff. All right, so just real quick, out of morbid curiosity, if nothing else, I decided to do, I looked at the product manual, routed the rope through the fender the way it suggests, and this would be a horizontal configuration. So even though the rope is routed a different way, it's still going to work the exact same through the center, over each ear. And in like this case where this cleat is kind of on the corner of the boat, I personally think that would give this boat better protection. Okay, for simplicity's sake, I'm not going to fool with trying to put the tripod in the boat. There's just too much going on. So I've kind of set this in place and just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like installed on the window frame. So this bracket comes supplied, the thumb screws, hardware is all included. And the way this works, it's got like a ball pivot right there. So you can adjust this for tension to put that on any angle that you need it to be. And the way that this is going to work, they supply you this little adhesive backed pad. Once you figure out where you're going to want this on a permanent location, you're going to peel this adhesive backing off, and that pad is going to stick directly to the windshield frame. And then that way, once you put this in place, the thumb screws aren't going to damage your windshield. That makes this easy to take off. Say in the case like with the Mastercraft here, it's got a cover that they keep over it, and so you're not going to want to leave this in place. You're going to want to take this off, and the two thumb screws are going to make that super quick to take that off. Obviously you're going to be able to adjust this on the fly. So like if you're at a cruising speed 20, 24, 25 miles an hour and the boat's fairly planed out, you're going to want, you know, to be able to adjust this to see behind you. If the boat's loaded up with ballast and you're surfing at 10 to 12 miles per hour, you're going to be at a different angle, so you're probably going to end up having to adjust it. And that's really cool. Kind of like the mirrors that I did on the Razor, you can adjust those on the fly, and the tension is adjustable to where it's really loose, really easy to adjust. You can tighten this thing all the way down to where it's not going to move. So if you want that locked in position, you can adjust that and achieve that locked in position. Personally, I think, you know, snug it up to where it's giving you just a little bit there where you can still adjust that on the fly. Just like with the side mirrors on the Razor, excellent quality lens. It's very clear. I can see great. There's no distortion anywhere. It doesn't have a panoramic effect. Sometimes these smaller mirrors have almost a panoramic effect, and that's deceiving to, you know, to tell how far away. If a boat was going to come up and pass you on one side or the other, it's kind of deceiving. So this doesn't really have that effect. Very nice mirror for sure. And of course, like with all their other products, you get an installation instructions manual. It kind of gives you a rundown on your parts that are included with the mirror assembly, as well as how to install it. And they do supply the Allen keys needed. All right, so we went out in the boat, did a little bit of wake surfing, kind of did some cruising around and stuff. Ron, what do you think about the mirror?
The mirror, size-wise, it's awesome.
He's claimed it. He took it away from me.
Yeah,
if that says anything.
The size is desirable for sure. The clarity is very good. I did have a little trouble though, adjusting, side to side, but overall, it has a good clear picture of what's behind you.
So we kind of just did a temporary setup for today because, hey, we're just going to use it on Ron's boat while we go out. And then he's like, actually, I like this better than the mirror that I had. So I've told him that we'll work something out. And so he'll probably make a more permanent solution as far as setup goes. We did not get an opportunity to dock the boat. We didn't tie it with any other boats today to put the fenders into use, but you got an opportunity to kind of see how they attach the boat, how you adjust and everything from there. And Ron and I have discussed, like on his boat, how it's curved, where the cleats are curved, even the bow is the same way. It would be advantageous for him to kind of turn into that horizontal clocking. But I don't see a reason why they wouldn't work good.
I think they would work great.
I like being able to adjust the height of it and put it where you need it, especially like with his being a 2012. So it's, if you're into this, the newer boats have so much dead rise in the hull, a higher, taller boat essentially. If he pulled up and we were going to tie it with a taller boat that might have a rub rail this much taller than his sitting out of the water, being able to raise that up and down to adjust accordingly would be nice. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. Have a good day.